Survivor Series is this weekend, and if there's one thing we know about this time of year, it's that it's hot.
It's the opposite of hot.
It's hot somewhere. Mexico?
It is hot somewhere, like it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly.
As Jimmy Buffett said.
So quickly this morning, because there's sweet old bugger all news doing the rounds today, we put the call out on Twitter and Instagram. What are your hot takes for this weekend's Survivor Series PLE? And we're going to react to some of the hottest, kicking things off with Robert's 21 pack on the gram, so he is. Not that kind of gram, Tom, calm down. Oh. Men's Raw versus SmackDown 2016 is the best elimination match ever. The one famed for Chris Jericho telling Shane McMahon, calm down, pal.
Oh, yes. This was the one that went on for ages as well.
Braun Strowman's in there doing things. Shane McMahon takes a big old dirty spear midair from Roman Reigns. Concussion. Horrible to see, obviously. I'm not happy about that. I know I'm conveying that differently, but still, it's in the conversation.
Was it the one with a very grumpy Triple H in it as well?
I think so.
Yeah. Great match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think more just for Shane McMahon getting knocked about a bit.
Any more great Survivor Series men's matches taking your...
2003.
Remind me.
Team Austin versus Team Bischoff.
Shawn Michaels bleeding.
Shawn Michaels doing the greatest sell job, I think, of his career. Just like fighting for his absolute life. And when Batista turned up and powerbombed him into oblivion, it was devastating.
Yeah.
And they tried to replicate that same aura with Dolph Ziggler many moons later at Survivor Series, the one where Sting
2014.
turned up. Yes, Queen. Excellent Survivor Series. But the Survivor Series matches themselves, I think when there's story, rhyme, and reason, and purpose, and drive, and direction, they can be some of the best matches around.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a really older one, but it's more about the team names and the promos before the match rather than the matches themselves.
Oh gosh, yeah,
that was the team names. Bring them back.
Yeah, they got Team Rio this year, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, which is a amalgamation of Rio and EO, which isn't as daring and as dangerous as you'd hope. I'd have called them the Eradicators.
That's why we're here. Daring and dangerous is something that could be said of Jonathan Brown 1995 on Instagram, who says, I'm tired, Ross. Same. You tired?
Oh, very tired.
Yeah.
I've still got jet lag from the other day.
We're all tired, and we're all going to die soon. Oliver Webb 1993, Oliver Webb 93, sorry, I get the handle right. It says, Charlotte turns on Bliss in the cage, sets up a Rumble match with a stipulation. I can see that happening.
I did that in pictures, and you shot it down.
I can see it happening, mate.
How dare you?
It's not what I want to happen. It's what I think could happen.
I think a lot of people have turned a corner on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss as a friendly tag team, which is exactly why now is the time to pull the trigger and turn her heel again. She's so much better as a heel.
It's more natural.
I don't like her as a character.
Just cut after I don't like her.
Don't cut that bit. The Charlotte Flair character who's like, I was born into this Nepo baby, many billion time champion. Look at all my fancy robes and entrances. How is that likable and relatable?
Have you seen RuPaul's Drag Race, Tom?
Yes.
You get the outfit right. You're a Bobby Dazzler. Everyone loves it.
It's true, but I don't love Charlotte Flair, the character. I've got no opinion on Ashley Flair. I've never met her. Charlotte Flair is a character I don't like, and that's fine because I'm not meant to like her.
Yeah. No, I can see it happening, but also I don't want it to happen because they were doing well getting a cheered for the first sustained period of time on the main roster. I remember back in 2016, maybe we tried it, then it just gave up because obviously she's a more natural heel than face. We've been doing well with Alexa Bliss, even though the relationship of we're not friends, but we are. It got a bit like we're in chapter 1 still when we should be on chapter 3 or 4. It wasn't moving, it wasn't progressing too well. But they've just given up on that, and now people don't know what to think about Charlotte Flair. I don't want to be in the match. I'll be in the match for you, Alexa. I don't like you, Rhea. I'll like you for one night, Rhea.
All the more reason why that's not as hot a take as you might think. The reluctance to get in the match means that she'll probably do something nasty.
It's mild, Oliver. It's mild. Shane Bottoms has been in contact saying Brock Lesnar will steal the show in WarGames. Fingers crossed emoji. Crying laughter emoji. I wholeheartely disagree.
Well, it was again to go back to 9 Pitches, which is on the channel right now for Survivor Series fantasy booking this Saturday show. It was Fraser Porter that suggested Lesnar hitting an F5 off the top of the cage. And I added, and I will say this here now, Lesnar's struggling to stay upright on the ramp. I wouldn't want to go up there and get F5'd by him off the top of a very high cage. I mean, there's potential for Brock to... I think Brock's going to go in there, just mow down everybody. Probably do something ludicrous with an F5.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get the top of the cage F5.
Maybe he will have that one moment where it is like an F5 off the top of the cage. But when you think about a show-stealing performance, you think about Io Sky and years gone by and people like that. I don't think that's going to be Brock because he's not going to be arsed, is he? It's Brock Lesnar.
Love the idea of Brock just leaning into it and just jumping off the top in a dustbin. That should have been in the pitch.
It's what we want to happen.
It's what we want to happen.
Joey Ferris has been in contact. WWE should go back to the traditional 5-on-5 elimination matches. We are getting one of those on the old Smacky Down tonight as we're sat here. Sami Zayn leading his troop of boys against another set of boys.
The non-fungible tokens against Sami Zayn's alliance. Yeah, yes, and I agree. I miss the Survivor Series elimination style matches. I think they, again, when there's rhyme and reason, then they're good fun to do. The reason that match is happening is because MFTs are a bad group who have been beating up people with the numbers game, and Sami Zayn has gone, look, I'm going to rally all the people that you have knocked about and we're coming for you all at once. That's all the story you need.
Yeah, it's more story than WarGames.
It's more story than WarGames. It's more story than WarGames. I do, yeah, but I've always loved Survivor Series, and I remember there was a few years ago where it was on the chopping board when they looked like they were going to get rid of it, and I was like, no, don't like it.
It's one of the big four, never mind the big five.
Yeah, that's it. So when they moved away from that, I was sad. I'm glad that we're going to get a Survivor Series style match tonight, but gosh, I'd like them to come back more often.
Me too. I concur. Lord R. Doyle has been in contact to say Shane McMahon should come back for a WarGames match. We'll just move on from that one.
The problem is because Ross went onto the old Instagram machine and went, come and give us your pro wrestling opinion, something up till now that you were scared to say. And in doing so, You've woken up the Shane McMahon stands, which you always do on your Insta.
I thought it was unjustly, or there was an injustice, I should say, that Shane McMahon didn't get on camera when he was at Raw at MSG, but Stephanie McMahon did.
I think it's justice for the way he treated the WCW wrestlers at WrestleMania X7.
It's favouritism, Tom, and I won't stand for it. Up the Shane McMahon. Mr. Nipper has been in contact. That's the same question as someone else asked about 5-on-5 matches. So we agree with that one, Mr. Nipper.
To go back to the Shane McMahon bit.
Yeah.
Do we want him back? Proper? In some way, shape or form?
I think the program is better for having Shane McMahon there as long as he's in the right role. It can't be the Shane McMahon of 2019, 2020 sort of time, or maybe 2018, 2019 sort of times, where he was a main eventer in his own mind and kind of on the card as well. Yeah. He should be nowhere near the upper echelons of the card. He should be what he was when we were younger, go back to 2001. A glorified stuntman doing very impressive things on the undercard. Wah, wah, wee, wah. Send us home for a good time. I don't want to see Shane McMahon taking himself too seriously. Oh, I've done Muay Thai a few times. No, not him. Just jump off something high.
I love that Shane McMahon is the kind of guy that would make himself in a wrestling video game and give himself all finishes. He really is. God love him. God love him.
Darcy Shepherd, thank you for getting in contact. Now the thrill of WarGames has worn off. Survivor Series has once again become the worst PLE.
Oh, worst? Oh, I mean... I agree that the sheen is off WarGames now. I think it's one of them where we were very excited when it came back, but now you've done it every year and we're just like, oh, okay. And it's frustrating because, Paul, you don't want me in the photograph, Levesque, very much said about when it came to the Hell in a Cell PLE. Like, a Hell in a Cell should happen when a Hell in a Cell needs to happen. This isn't his exact quote. I'm paraphrasing. He said it should happen when a match needs to happen, not every year at the same time.
Yeah.
And he's just fallen into the same trap with WarGames.
But Christmas, Tom. Toys. Christmas, Tom.
You could sell those toys all year round. And people will argue, well, the Royal Rumble is January every year, but I think the Royal Rumble, it should never be invited in that conversation of gimmicks that happen at the same time that are boring, because the Royal Rumble's never, like, you have to really, really do well to make a boring Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but a Royal Rumble is it's like a World Cup. We know it happens every year, or the World Cup happens every fall. WarGames, the way it's been put about, it needs 10 men in there or 10 ladies in there to make it work. And the fact that they have to just shoehorn in 10 people like they've done this year, they've just gone, get in there. There's some Roman, Cody, CM Punk. You do the storyline that you should have done before you agree to do the match. After you've agreed to do the match, it's my team. No, it's my team. Oh, I want your title. Oh, I want your title. title.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? With Royal Rumble, we know the Royal Rumble's happening, so the story builds up to the Royal Rumble. So
It's
maybe
like the Olympics, Tom. We know the Olympics is coming up. The Royal Rumble is that.
So maybe is there a way where you go, okay, we announce ahead of time the WarGames cage match is happening, so therefore we need to populate it. Is there a way that you do it that way, or is it just?
I don't think it is with that concept because it feels like Hell in a Cell-esque in that it's the worst thing you can do. Like the match beyond is like the most endurance-filled thing since the Iron Survivor Challenge up the NXT. So it always feels like to me with WarGames you need to have the people in position and then have the match follow it, not have the match in position then put the people in there.
Yeah, there's no way you can really just go. There's the WarGames coming up. Who wants in? Yeah. If it was like. If it was like a major brand, if it was like oh God, I was about to say if there was a brand war, no, no,
bring back bragging rights. I
think I've become a problem. It was like in '97 WCW where you had WWE and NWO, so you knew WarGames was coming up. It's like right. NWO are putting together a WarGames team. WCW are putting together a WarGames team. And the story was in the way they built those teams. So the only way you could do that is if you did Raw versus SmackDown.
But even then, they only cared about Raw versus SmackDown that one time of the year where the superstars of Raw versus SmackDown. And it always fell down because they would always have a draft like a month or two before.
Yeah, that was
someone
annoying.
was blue all year round. And then they were red for 2 months. And it was like, I'll die for the red brand.
Die for this shirt I'm wearing. Yeah, okay. There's no way you can do it. Nonsense.
We'll take things over to Tom's Twitter, X account. I'm in 2025. Swag Belly, the real JD Perry. Thank you for getting in contact. They're saying a lot of the build-up has felt a lot more like a chore than an event. Shoehorning teams together. It's what we've just said. But we should have waited for your question because they needed to the matches rather than making sense in the current storylines. They had months to build to this, but they just smashed it together in weeks instead. That's the issue when you have 75 events. We need to build to SummerSlam. We need to build to Saturday night's main event. We need to build to Saudi Arabia. We need to build to all these little things that happen time and time and time again. So you can't do the sustained build for something big like this.
Yeah, this was the thing when way back in the day, you had like the Royal Rumble, you had WrestleMania, you had SummerSlam, you had Survivor Series, and that was your lot, Jack, apart from maybe the odd Saturday night's main event. So you had all this time to put these pieces into place, but it feels like every single week there's like 2 or 3 events they're now building to. You'll see like coming up, AAA, what happened when Dirty Dom does a thing in Mexico. Also NXT Deadline, where find out who will face the NXT champion at New Year's Eve in January. Saturday night's main event coming up. It's John Cena's
TNA.
last match. Who will win the title? Watch TNA. Watch all the wrestling. Watch it. It's going to move. Watch it. Watch it all. It is. And to go back to the message that one of the first messages you got, I'm tired, Ross. I get it.
Yeah.
A lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So you haven't got. So they haven't got the time. The thing is, they have got the time, but they don't allow themselves the time because they're booking a million different things.
They can't have the time though when they have something going on like the Bloodline versus the Good Lads from like last year, the year before.
Yeah, that was it.
That made sense in the context of WarGames, but this year, as we've said before, they've just had the match and gone, oh, we'll pick 10 people and put them in there.
It's like, oh, bugger, we need a WarGames match, and also weirdly, it makes the WarGames match feel inconsequential.
Yeah, there are no stakes.
No stakes.
Apparently, we are going to learn like what the WrestleMania main event is going to be based off the final shot we see in the match. But
that was a report that did the rounds a couple of days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but in terms of like who actually gets the winning fall and who wins the match, what does that mean for them apart from going, meh,
that's it.
I won.
There's no stakes.
MK Bunt, thank you for getting in contact. Dom needs to be dirtier than ever and win.
Oh, no, I've heard a few voices suggest that Dom should beat John. I don't think he should.
Oh, really?
No, I think John. I think maybe his last match should be losing the IC title.
I don't think his last match needs the IC title.
No?
I reckon Dom should win this one and win it in the most dastardly way ever. Going back to MK Bunt's comment there, I think he should be dirtier than ever. The dirtier, the better.
The dirtier, the better. I just feel like it'd be nice to have one more John Cena victory, and then he loses in the final of the tournament.
Yeah.
I feel like which will therefore mean you'd have to go in with the IC title in order to do that. Unless, they could have done the triple threat thing, but they didn't. I feel like Cena, I'd like to see Cena win on Saturday because it'll be his last PLE, and have him win.
Yeah.
I mean, John's probably arguing the toss about why he should lose and then get obliterated and get pinned by everybody in the roster at this point. And ultimately go on, because this is his last PLE. It'd be nice for him to win it. Yeah. I think. And then lose the IC title to Gunter.
Yeah.
Is that a step? I think Gunter's winning the tournament, by the way.
I think his last match is enough thing by itself without having it's not a distraction, is it? But without having the title there anyway. I think obviously the big theme of John's retirement tour in the last month or so, especially, and the month to come, is putting over younger talent. I think him giving Dom a big victory, like Dom being John Cena's last pay-per-view John Cena's last pay-per-view defeat would be a big thing.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Jamie McDonough, he'll be telling his grandkids, I was the guy to get pinned by John Cena last on Raw.
That was the last. He will tell his grandchildren that. You know what? That's a good shout. My mind's somewhat turned into that.
I wouldn't mind it if Ray inadvertently cost John and helped Dom. That's what I would like to see happen. And because I think we're going to get Dom versus Ray, like the final one at WrestleMania. And I think that would be the perfect sort of launch point to go. Because obviously a lot of people are saying it, but I would like to see the sort of the mask versus hair stipulation.
Yeah.
And if Ray is because he's just had another surgery, he might, obviously he's not because he's Rey Mysterio and he's quite indestructible no matter how many knees he has. He's had 75,000, Tom. But if it is going to be his last big WrestleMania, putting his son over and then losing his mask.
I mean, WrestleMania seems like a good land, just to kind of side quest this a little bit. WrestleMania seems like a nice place for that to happen, but I feel like it should headline a AAA event.
No,
I feel like headline that would do such gangbuster numbers.
I don't care about that.
A AAA show in Mexico, headlined by Ray versus Dom, mask versus title.
You want their monopolization to get stronger, do you?
I just think of it like visually, like that would. If I was a wrestling fan in Mexico, that would be such a landmark moment. I think, anyway. I'm not a fan from Mexico. I once went to a Mexican restaurant in Worcester. That's about as Mexican as I've been. That's it. But I just feel like that's a match that would set off a fantastic main event of a AAA show, and I fear would get lost in the shuffle of a WrestleMania weekend. In my opinion, it ain't my train set.
It is a big weekend, to be fair to Tom. It is a big weekend. Quit Every John. Thank you for getting in contact. WCW/ECW should have won Survivor Series 2001. The WF came back, would have effed hard.
I have fantasy booked this in a little notepad many years ago. And I agree.
The camera's rolling, you know.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll share it. I don't know where that notepad is anymore, but I love the idea of in my head, it would have been Eric Bischoff returning at Survivor Series to lead the Alliance in victory, and it would turn out and him and Flair set up all along, and then you run it as WCW Monday Night Raw, or you rebrand it as Nitro, and it's Raw who are like the interlopers trying to get in, and then that WrestleMania where you run it back and you do like every match has significance because every match is going to earn the other team a point, and the winning team has ultimate domination. Oh, that'd be great!
Why didn't he just wait until all the contracts were up? Hey, why didn't he just wait?
Because WWF at that point were in a bit of a free fall because they'd lost a lot of money, they'd lost a lot of talent, and they were scrambling a little bit, and it was just a case of rather than just eke out the end of the year, the fact they were cancelling house shows post WrestleMania 17 because they weren't drawing enough people. So there was a bit of a panic on. So it was to do something to shock the system. And I guess they went, well, we've just bought WCW. We've got these 12 wrestlers. We can work with this. Yeah. And it's a shame because had you just kind of starved for 12 months, if you just persevere for 12 months.
2003 and the NWO is what rocks up for the first soldiers, and then obviously Goldberg and obviously DDP and Booker T were there as well. Scott Steiner thrown there.
But by No Way Out 2002, you would have had Nash, Hall, Hogan, Flair. You'd have had Goldberg the following year because he was sitting out his contract.
And Sting might not even have been put off because he might not have seen Booker T going, that segment with The Rock where he's like, who in the blue hell are you? Booker T. And that's what put Sting off famously for going jumping ship. Bobby Cash has been in contact.
Hey!
Not 2025.
Pour me a drink.
Not 2025 specific, but my feeling is the best pay-per-views with stiff matches are the ones with the high stakes, i.e. Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. Therefore, my hot take is that I'm fine with WarGames if there's stakes. Winning team should get the last 5 Rumble spots. Losing team gets the first 5. Something to care. Hear, hear.
Amen. Up the Bobby Cash on that one.
He's on the money.
I think, yeah, because we said this a couple of minutes ago. There's no stakes. There's no stress. If you win or lose the WarGames match, whatever. So you wake up the next day and you carry on. No, nothing's really lost. You know, bragging rights is only, you know, you can't really dine out on that. I love the idea.
You can for a week.
Maybe for like a week or a promo. I love the idea of it being like I'll tell you what would be a good one, right? Let's go Survivor Series 04. And you had Evolution versus Jericho, Maven, Randy Orton,
Shelby B.
Was he in that team?
I don't know. It's made up.
I
Just naming a name from that
forgive
beat.
me off the top of my head. I can't remember the team. I think Gene Snitsky might have been on the other team as well. But it was heel team, face team. Bischoff was stressed to the nines with running Raw, and he went, "Tell you what, you good guys, diddlers, have a match. The winning team will book Raw for the next month."
And Maven did well with his night.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Maven did well. Jericho booked Trish versus Lita for the women's title. I think Randy might have booked himself a title match. But there were stakes. There were stakes in it. It was like the winner, therefore, basically runs Raw.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think it's perfect for a year like this, where there is obviously a little storyline going on between Reigns, Punk, and Cody, like who's Reigns going to challenge for the title come WrestleMania. That's like a little subplot, but it has no real knock-on effect for the match itself. So the fact, we have obviously some years it wouldn't be needed because I think the Bloodline one, famously with Kevin and Sammy, that was enough of a story there and stakes there in terms of like the whole story that was taking over the company year on year at that point. But for this year, 5 winners get the last 5 spots, the 5 losers get the first 5. Perfect.
Brilliant.
Would have solved the issue. Bobby Cash get hired by the WWE.
Hire that man immediately.
There you go. So something a bit different today. Let us know if you like this kind of thing. If it gets good views and it pays for itself, we'll do it again because that's how YouTube works. Thank you for sending your hot takes in if you saw it. Apologies if you didn't see it because obviously this was a bit of a thing on the fly this morning. But there you go. Let us know what you think about our hot takes to your hot takes. And let us know about your hot takes as well if you didn't get them read out on the video. I've been Ross, joined by Tom. Tune into all the content over the weekend. Pitches on the channel right now. It's called Fantasy Booking Pitches now, just in case you get a bit confused by that. Predictions are live on the channel now. The podcast is coming out later. What happened at coming out the show is with Tom Campbell on Saturday evening / Sunday morning, depending on where you are. A live stream with Andrew and Sam, a punishment next week. There's all sorts going on.
And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo, toodaloo to you. And WTF's on the Patreon next week. Knew I forgot something, and it's the thing I do. Goodbye.